If you're like me, you're constantly searching for a way to be more productive, hit your goals, and not feel like you're a total space case all over the place. We are going to be talking about time blocks today and how blocking out your daily schedule can do wonders for your overall goals. Stick with us. We'll be back right after this. Hi there everybody, welcome back to the Messy Keto Kitchen. My name is Steffi, and if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing to our channel. We have tons of content here. We go in all different directions, and including today's topic, which is how to use time blocks to make your day more productive and to hit your goals, both fitness, mental, physical, all the whole thing. This is where time blocks can help you. So for those of you who are not familiar with time blocks, it's just like the name infers. It is blocking off times of your day in order to get the most work done and to be the most productive. So the essence behind it is that you would want to block off, and everybody does it differently, but usually it's 15 to 30 minute increments in your day that you are going to designate to certain projects or certain tasks that need to be done. Your blocks don't have to be 15 to 30 minutes. They can be any time that you want to. And so some things are going to take longer, obviously. So let me give you an example of how I block my time. If you're like me, I am not necessarily a morning person per se. I get up early, but my brain doesn't start to really click until about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. So what I do is I set up my first block of time to be between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. And what I do is I decide what my most important priorities are going to be for that day, and they have to fit in that 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock time frame. So what I do is I set myself a list of things that are the priorities that need to be accomplished, and then I block those in 30-minute increments in the 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock time frame. Now this is something that I had used many years ago, and I was very successful with it, and somewhere along the way I fell off the track. I brought it back just recently, and I can't tell you how much better my productivity is. The reason I wanted to bring this idea to you guys today, and we will go more and further in depth for you, but the reason I wanted to bring this to you today is that, have you ever heard the term that action begets action? Rolling stone gains no moss, whatever, fill in some other colloquialism here. What happens when you start doing something is that you can start small, and then it starts to compound, and you start going, well, you know what, I can do this, I can do this, and I can do this. And before you know it, you've completed 10 tasks when you only set out to complete one. When you're already in the mindset of getting going and things are rolling, you're gonna keep going with it. So how this pertains to, at least for, we'll just use weight loss in this example, is that for me, I have a tendency when my house isn't quite as clean as I want it to be, or the clutter starts to add up, I tend to get a really bad case of the, we shall call them the F-its. Fill in the blank, guys. Where I go, I'll meal prep tomorrow or next week, or I'll start back over on Monday. And I don't keep up with a lot of the things that are really important for me to keep my health going the right direction. And so if you've ever heard the phrase, if you store it physically, you store it mentally, that's the God's honest truth. So if you have clutter in your house and you haven't done the laundry and you live out of laundry baskets more often than you should, you tend to store that mentally, and it starts to bog down your brain to where you start wanting to give up on all the other things. It just seems like too much of an undertaking for you. So what I'm recommending is that you start using time blocks. There's tons of information out there about it, but here's how I would set up a time block for your particular day. Again, you have to kind of figure it out for yourself, but always set your priorities first. Maybe only schedule it for like the first hour of the day is your priorities time block. And then map out how long each thing approximately is going to take you. Make sure that you're mapping out break time in there too. You need to have break blocks, otherwise you're going to drive yourself crazy. Make a game out of how much stuff you can get accomplished in a particular block of time, and then have a very strict cutoff time. So I was using the example earlier of how my block was from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and what I had set for myself was that I was going to get all my laundry done, I was going to deep clean my kitchen, and I was going to deep clean my office. And no matter what, at 1 o'clock, whether it was done or not, I had to stop. It was just the end. I got so much accomplished, plus 5 other things, okay, maybe like 3 other things, but I got so much more accomplished that once I hit that 1 o'clock block, I was able to sit back, I took my break, and then I set another block for myself, and I said, okay, so from 3 o'clock until 5 o'clock, I'm going to watch TV while I fold laundry. That's just an example. You can do whatever you want. What I recommend is setting blocks up for your entire week to include things like meal prepping, going to the gym. They can be appointments that you need to have in your week, the dentist, the doctor, all that stuff. But once you block out your day, it's a little bit easier for you to be productive and get a lot more stuff done. You are talking to the world's biggest procrastinator here. If it's due on Sunday, I am going to have it to you on Sunday. And I am working hard to get myself out of that, and that's where block scheduling really helps me. When it comes to meal prepping, for example, and I'm not the best at it, I do a small amount. I'm not huge on the week's worth of meals. But as far as meal prepping goes, if you block that out, you're not going to overwhelm yourself. So instead of saying, I'm going to spend an entire day meal prepping, which just sounds immediately daunting, you say, I'm going to block out a 3-hour span of time. Here's the recipes that I want to accomplish. Here's how many days worth of food it's going to be. And whatever I have done in that 3-hour span of time, that's all it is. Everything else I'm going to have to figure out on my own. You will get more and more efficient every single time you block out that time for your meal prep or whatever else it is that's going to help you further your goals. And you'll be amazed that week after week after week, you're able to get more and more stuff done in a less amount of time. I don't know why words are escaping me right now. In a smaller amount of time, you'll be able to do it. There are several articles out there about properly blocking out, how to use time blocks. Most of them will recommend using a Google Calendar. Google Calendar already blocks out your time throughout the day anyway, so it's kind of a gimme. You can set up reminders on your phone if you want to, or you can kick it old school and literally just set a timer. And you can set a timer on your phone, but you could set a timer and say, here's my timeline to get these 5 projects done, and whatever I don't get done, it has to be moved to a different block. Anyway, I know that that's not the most descriptor of time blocks, but I hope it gets the ball rolling and you start to think about how you can make more time in your life to cleanse the clutter out of your house, out of your mind or whatever, because you will cleanse your clutter and you will be so much more clear. Your goals will be clearer, your objectives, I think goals and objectives can be the same thing, but you will start to see so many better results when you are more productive. And I think we can all relate to when your house is clean and it's organized and you're not all cluttered, you suddenly feel a lot more optimistic and like you can do a lot more things. So what I'm gonna ask everybody to do, if you're watching this video, first of all, click the like if you liked the video, dislike if you didn't like it, and then maybe comment below on some of the things that you do to stay productive. I just really want to encourage you guys. Being productive is going to make the biggest impact on your overall health and wellness. When you're not a little bit structured, things start to go downhill very quickly. Anyway, let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know if there's any further clarification I can give you on this. And as usual, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video. Have a good day.